Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but we've been out in the field, we've been pretty busy. So today we actually have a very special episode for you. We've been bringing some bugs home from the field and I want to put them under the microscope for you so you can see what's going on. It's actually pretty interesting. And not only that, but we have some live specimens living in a houseplant here at the house. And it's something I think you might want to check out. And honestly, I don't know what it is, but it is really cool and a little bit creepy. So let's go check it out.
The first thing we're going to check out is the masked Chafer beetle, which is native to North America. This beetle is one of the many June bugs or June beetles that can be found here in California and is a fairly common crop or lawn pest. Check out the hairy dad bod on this guy. These guys, they have a beard. That's cool. I have to say, one of the coolest features of these guys is their feet. Those are some pretty awesome feet. I'm going to go ahead and flip on the black light now and see if there's any UV reactive properties similar to scorpions. You guys see that eyeball glowing? That is so cool. You can see the mesh inside of it. It's really trippy. I can honestly spend way too much time playing with UV lights and bugs. It's pretty cool. Well, let's go ahead and change it up. We're going to try something else on the slide now. So the next thing we'll be looking at is the flame skimmer dragonfly. Also native to California, this dragonfly is most often found around ponds and lakes and sports a brilliantly orange body. You know, one of the things about dragonflies I've always loved are the eyes. Like, look at this. I mean, it's like tightly packed geometry. It's really cool. Here's the wings. Actually, something cool to note are these barbed wire patterns hidden inside the wings. Now, I'm not quite sure what these are for, but if we move this up and we focus it down, you can see it's on almost all parts of the wings, which is pretty cool. Moving to the top edge of the wing, the coolest thing I noticed was a saw blade formation here on the top. I'm seriously curious what that's for. It actually exists on the bottom of the wing too. If we go ahead and move the wing up here, you can see it continues on the bottom. However, it's not as exaggerated as it is on the top. Still cool. And I'm loving this reinforced area at the corner. It's really neat. Let's go ahead and flip on the black light and see if we can see something cool. And just as I suspected, more UV reactive properties from the eyeballs. Okay, let's go ahead and focus in on the eyeball. And then we're going to try going from regular light into some UV and see what the transition looks like. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Well, let's move on to the next thing. Well, our next specimen's actually a damselfly. However, I'm not really sure which species, so we're just going to leave that blank for now. The eyeballs in this were not too much to look at. As were the wings, just pretty wiry and fishnet-like. Now, I wasn't sure if this white coloration was actually the color of the damselfly or mold, considering the specimen was pretty old. So I'm still not sure about that, and it did not help with identification. There was zero UV reaction at all from the eyeballs. However, while taking this shot, I actually noticed the patterns on the back, so I decided to focus in on these. And this is where I found the real magic. You know what? Damselflies look pretty cool from the top. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next specimen. So the next specimen I want to show you is a gray silverfish. Now these are found indoors in California pretty much everywhere. If you live in California, you've probably seen one already. So one thing to notice here in these videos is actually that these silverfish are covered in small fishy scales, which is pretty interesting. Well, interesting enough, but let's go ahead and move on to the next segment because it's infinitely more interesting. So one day, we noticed that there were some bugs living in some happy bamboo in the windowsill of our kitchen. And upon closer inspection, we realized these are not mosquito larvae, which we originally assumed, and so we started looking at their behavior and what they were doing. And after a while of watching them, it became pretty apparent they were just pretty much hanging out on the surface and eating the happy bamboo that was below them. And as we watched their behavior more, we realized these guys are masters of water tension. Look at them go. Now in this clip, one of them had broken free from the edge, and one of them was holding on with its teeth and using its tail to try and corral the other one back in, while the ones over on the right side, they had broken their water tension too, and they were sharing air with each other and trying to regain buoyancy as a group, actually get back to the surface as a group. It was pretty interesting to watch. And here's the example of one that is using the water tension on the glass to actually move above the water level and explore that environment as well. Now, upon losing the water tension, they would actually drop to the bottom, and they would get stuck in all the little bits of stuff they chewed off the rest of the happy bamboo, and it made it much more difficult for them to get back up to the surface. And you notice that they're actually struggling. They're having a hard time. They can kind of only just nod their head against the glass to get up, which made it even more apparent that they were so reliant on this water tension and being near the surface. Some were better than others at this. This one, I don't think he quite knew what he was doing, but he was trying. And unfortunately, some of them, no matter how hard they tried, just never made it. So my question to all you guys is, what exactly are we looking at here? If anyone thinks they know, please leave your comment down below. Please post a link to some sort of species page. It'd be really interesting to see what you all think.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. I think that's about all the time we have for today's episode, but keep on coming back. You like what you're seeing? Hit like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned because next episode of Microscopy is going to be on minerals and their UV properties, and we're going to be doing some giveaways of minerals.